The moment I stopped being a good girl, my life completely fell apart. And then it came back together in a way I never thought was possible. Saying no for the first time felt like I was betraying someone. It cost me friendships, it cost me opportunities, things I thought I couldn't live without. For years, my entire identity was wrapped up in making other people happy, until I realized I'd completely lost myself in the process. But the moment I started choosing myself wasn't an ending. It was the beginning of my actual life, and it led to a transformation that was as shocking as it was beautiful. For as long as I can remember, I was a people pleaser. My self-worth was just a reflection I saw in other people's eyes. Was I a good daughter? A supportive friend? A helpful colleague? I collected these labels like they were badges of honor, but underneath it all, I was suffocating. I was the one who always said yes to extra work, even when I was already drowning. I was the friend who'd drop everything for someone else's crisis, even if my own world was on fire. I remember this one week so clearly. I had 3 different friends going through breakups, a massive deadline at work, and a family commitment I absolutely couldn't miss. I spent every single waking hour making sure everyone else was okay, answering texts, giving advice, finishing reports. By the end of that week, I had a severe panic attack, locked in an office bathroom. My body was finally screaming what my voice wouldn't. I had nothing left to give. I was constantly exhausted. But what was worse was the resentment that was building up. It was like a quiet poison. I felt like a martyr to everyone else's needs, and I was starting to hate the very people I was trying so hard to please. The most terrifying part, though, the emptiness. If you stripped away all those roles I was playing for everyone else, I had no idea who I was. I was a ghost in my own life. The breaking point wasn't some big, dramatic explosion. It was a simple text message. A friend was asking for a huge, last-minute favor that would have completely wrecked my one free weekend in months. And for the first time, this different voice inside me spoke up. It was quiet, but it was so clear. It just said, "I can't." Typing out the words, "I'm so sorry, but I can't do that. This weekend was one of the hardest things I've ever done." My heart was pounding. I was terrified of their disappointment, of their anger. And the response I got back was exactly what I feared. It was cold, confused. "I thought I could count on you." That one sentence confirmed my deepest fear. My value to them was tied directly to my usefulness. And as much as that rejection hurt, it also lit a fire in me. It was the painful proof I needed that the dynamic was completely broken. That was the moment I realized that keeping the peace was costing me my own peace. Those first few months were brutal. It felt like I was failing a test I had been acing my whole life. Some friends drifted away, confused by these new boundaries I was setting. I was called selfish. I was told I'd changed. And they were right. I had. The loneliness was real, and there were definitely moments I desperately wanted to crawl back to being the easy, agreeable person I was before. But then, little glimmers of light started to appear. The first time I had a whole Saturday to myself with 0 obligations, just to read a book. The first time I stated my opinion in a meeting without immediately apologizing for it. The first time I felt a new friendship forming based on mutual respect, not just on what I could do for them. These weren't huge, earth-shattering events, but they were the bricks that started building my new foundation. Slowly, but surely. I wasn't just surviving. I was building a life that was actually mine. I started a new career path that I was genuinely passionate about, not just one I thought would impress other people. My relationships became so much deeper and more real. I learned that the people who are meant to be in your life will respect your boundaries, not just tolerate them. I finally started to feel at home in my own skin, listening to my own wants and my own needs. This journey from people pleaser to a person with a backbone wasn't magic. It was a choice I had to make over and over again. So, if you're feeling stuck where I was, here's where you can start. First, just start noticing your good girl triggers. When do you feel that pull to say yes, even when it hurts you? Who makes you feel that way? Second, practice saying no in low-stakes situations. You don't have to start with a huge confrontation. Just decline a small request or state a simple preference. You have to build that muscle. And third, start asking yourself, who am I when nobody needs anything from me? Grab a journal and just write down what you love, what excites you, and what you value, just for you. Reclaiming your identity is the most rewarding journey you will ever take. It's messy, it's hard, and it is so worth it. Being a good girl is not a virtue if it means you have to erase yourself to do it. Your real power is in your authenticity. If any of this resonated with you, I would love it if you shared your own experience in the comments. And if you're ready to start choosing yourself, make sure to subscribe for more on living a truly authentic life. Remember, your voice deserves to be heard. Most importantly, by you.